Okay, so we are live. So I guess we'll start the negotiation. I'm Karen. I'm the store manager, and you're coming in, I guess, for an interview with me for a position. So I guess I'll start, right? So, hi Ken. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate your interest in the position. Thanks for coming in. Let's talk a little bit about what this means and what we're looking for and things like that, if that's okay.
I'm sorry, I can't quite hear you.
You can't hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay. So, you've been working in the store now for a couple years. As you know, our assistant store manager left, and you have applied for, and you're a decent candidate for the assistant store manager position. So tell me what you think the position is and why you're interested in it.
Okay, so I heard the first part of your question asking what I think it is. What was the second part?
Why you're interested in the position.
The position would kind of just be like an assistant to you, basically an assistant manager to the store, help run things, help you run the store, help do anything that you ask me to do. I'm interested because I've worked here for a couple of years now, about 5 years, and I'm just looking for more responsibilities, more experience. I've taken some management courses, and I think that I could really add to the store.
Okay. So yeah, you've been working here for a couple years. Certainly, I'm as a store manager, I certainly understand what your responsibilities are and your work ethic is. So those aren't the concern. I guess the couple concerns or questions that I have are, where do you see yourself in a couple years? Like, this is a position once we get into the store and, you kind of get ensconced into the position. We're really looking for some commitment, right? So, the famous, where do you see yourself in 5 years question for an interview. So kind of walk me through that.
Okay. So if I got this position, this promotion, I would be more willing to stay here longer. I am kind of hoping to go back to graduate school at some point. I don't have anything set, but I am interested in going back and continuing my schooling. I also am not exactly sure what degree I want to pursue or what career, but those are kind of my interests for now, hoping to kind of further my education eventually. And nothing is set. It's all kind of...
I'm sorry, you kind of blanked out there for a minute. What was that after also? Are you still there, Andi? Can you still hear me?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yay! Now, yes. So, last I heard, you're interested in furthering your education. You could make a commitment to the job if you got this position, but you are interested in furthering your education and kind of getting more responsibility. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, the position would require, right now, kind of as a department manager, you're, you pretty much have a set schedule and you set as 40 hours a week. This would require you to work more hours per week. You are paid for those hours, but it would require you to be, to be more on call and things like that as an assistant manager. You'd be expected to, open the store, close the store, different, on different days, different schedules, things like that, just so that, there would be, with more responsibility kind of comes more time too. So you would have to spend a little bit more time every week in the store, making sure, when I'm not there. So it's really going to be like an if then. We'll overlap maybe a couple hours during the day, but it's either going to be you or I at the store when either opening and closing it. So so there is that kind of a commitment that we need to, that you're going to be able to put those hours in and you're going to be willing to be there. Certainly, being as a department manager now and kind of coming up to this is going to be kind of folks that you're friends with now or coworkers with. Now you're going to be their manager. How do you do that kind of transition?
Sorry, I kind of didn't hear that last part about the transition.
Okay, you're a department manager now, and you'd be becoming a store manager, right? Assistant store manager. So how do you think you'll handle that transition of going kind of from coworker and friend to boss to some of the other department managers that you're friends with now? It seems like we're frozen again. I don't know why.
I know. Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay. How would you handle going from being kind of a coworker and friend with the other department managers to being their boss as the assistant store manager?
Well, kind of already being a department manager, I kind of already have that kind of a little bit of authority over some of the employees. So I think that would help me make that transition. As far as the other employees that I'm not in charge of, I guess, as long as you put the store first and the needs of the store first, that'll help me kind of overcome any friendships I've made and kind of focus on what's most important.
Okay, good. I like it. Good answer. I like that one. Do you have any questions or concerns for me?
Yeah, I would like to talk to you about the salary of the assistant manager, kind of talking about the raise I might receive.
Okay. Well, the starting salary for this position, you've been with us for a couple years. So the starting salary for this position is, it's about $3,000 more than you're making right now.
Okay.
So, so that would bring you to $35,000.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be the, what the starting salary would be for this position. Now, there are bonuses as part of this. As a store manager, you're entitled to bonuses based on how the store does. The store's been a little just kind of breaking even, pretty much. So, I'm looking for somebody who can work with me and be creative and maybe come up with some ideas to make the store more profitable. And
okay.
if the store is more profitable, then you and I are more profitable. Your bonuses based on that.
Okay. This is always a tough question, but is there any kind of wiggle room in the salary? Because I'm hoping to start a family pretty soon and I want to be able to provide for them and be the father and provide for my family.
Well, as far as for base salary, there's not. There could be some incentives that are put into place. I did hear you say earlier that you were interested in furthering your education. As a store manager, we do have a tuition reimbursement program. So you'd be able to take part in that tuition reimbursement program this would be for your graduate degree, correct?
Uh-huh.
So that would be up to $5,000 a year in tuition reimbursement. So
okay.
Because you've been with us, there's not that 1 year waiting period and things like that for new employees. So that is certainly something that you could take advantage of right away.
Okay, that is an awesome bonus. I appreciate that. Yeah, that would work pretty well for me.
Yeah, I mean, it's reimbursement, so you pay for the classes, you have to get a certain grade, you get reimbursed and things like that, but that's it's just an additional what we do for our managers to help them in that way. Retail is not the highest paying industry. And as I said earlier, the store's kind of breaking even. We're not really profitable. We're just kind of breaking even. So, if we can work together to try and increase the profits of the store, then bonuses will be higher and things like that. But as far as base salary, really $35,000 is the most that we can do.
Okay. I think I can make that work.
Okay.
That should work.
Any other questions or concerns for me?
Yeah, just kind of a wrap-up question. How, if I do get this promotion, how long would you expect me to stay at the store? Not saying that I want to stay the minimum, but what is your expectation for that?
Well, there's a couple things there, right? The expectation is probably no less than 3 years would be the expectation for, giving you the promotion, giving an opportunity for us to really turn the store around, things like that. So that's really what I'm looking for. Somebody who is really looking for this as kind of their career, certainly not long term. Retail is not for everybody. I happen to love it, but it's not for everybody. So, no less than 3 years. If you do take advantage of the tuition reimbursement program, I know that policy has kind of a component in it of you have to stay a certain amount of time, and I'm sorry, I don't know the exact parameters on that, but you have to stay a certain amount of time after each semester that you've gotten reimbursed. So, or you have to pay it back. So, so that would, be something too you'd want to consider. But I am really looking for, as a manager in a retail store, if we can get a 3-year commitment from any of our other department or assistant managers, really any of our employees, that's pretty standard in the industry.
Okay, and that seems totally fair to me. I understand that, and that would work for me.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions?
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, we talked about commitment, we talked about salary, I told you a little bit about the benefits. We talked about the time commitment as well as the overall commitment. You've been a good worker for the last 5 years, and you're certainly the number one candidate that we have for this position. I'm interviewing one other person, and then I'll be making a decision by the end of the week of where we're going to go with this, and And certainly if you get what I'd like you to start thinking about is if you get this position, is there anybody within in your department right now that you think then could be promoted into the management position that you'll be vacating?
Mm-hmm.
So that we, as a company, we do like to promote from within. So if we could take, one of your workers and bring them up, into that position, especially with you in the store to help to mentor them and be able to oversee it, that would be great.
Okay, absolutely. I'd be happy to do that.
Okay, so I will get back to you then no later than the end of the week, kind of with the decision. I'll talk it over with corporate and human resources, and we'll see where we go from there.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for meeting with me and giving me this opportunity.
No problem. Thank you.